Oscar for My Left Foot, won the hearts of millions of women with Last of the Mohicans, and, well, I don't know, kissed Michelle Pfeiffer's shoe in The Age of Innocence. Well, who wouldn't, really, I suppose? Anyway, apparently he could have taken the role Tom Cruise has in Interview with a Vampire, or perhaps starred with Julia Roberts in Shakespeare in Love. But instead, he reteamed with writer-director Jim Sheridan for In the Name of the Father, a stirring, true account of the unjust imprisonment of Irishman Jerry Connelly, falsely accused of being an IRA terrorist. Now, with news in recent days that the British government, John Major's government, has been engaged in back-channel negotiations with the IRA, this Christmas-time release is taking on an additional timeliness.
Northern Ireland is Britain's Vietnam. Bad blood between the Irish and British goes back centuries, but the troubles began in 1969, when British troops were sent into the north ostensibly to keep the peace between Protestants and Catholics. Their presence, however, inflamed passions, and IRA and UDF terrorism has killed hundreds in Britain, Northern Ireland and Ireland itself.
You're an Irish citizen, your father was Irish, yet you were born and brought up in England.
Yeah.
What kind of position does that put you in?
I don't know if I've entirely worked it out yet. I don't feel confused by having a foot in both worlds. People imagine it must be rather confusing. But, I mean, I am English. I grew up in England. I have had an English education. But at the same time, my father raised both my sister and myself with a great sense of love and belonging to Ireland.
In the Name of the Father tells the story of Jerry Connelly, brutalized by British police and wrongfully convicted of the 1974 IRA bombing of a pub in Guildford. Despite this travesty of justice, anti-IRA feeling in Britain remains high, and some members of the British press criticise Oscar winner Emma Thompson for taking on the role of Connelly's lawyer.
Insane to attack her for that, not knowing anything about the film and what it contained. And I think they just a little slightly more confused about where I come from. You know, it's like they can't decide whether I'm a turncoat or a bloody-minded Irishman. People are so set in their prejudices and preconceptions about the situation in the North that they're already determined to believe we've made a pro-Republican film, which is quite insane.
Last week, British Prime Minister John Major acknowledged that his government was holding secret talks with the IRA, despite years of denials, giving this movie real news value.
What do you hope this movie will do politically? Because, I mean, obviously it's all in the press at the moment. John Major is actually talking to the IRA. He's denied it for over a year. Can this movie do anything to help the situation?
I don't know if it can help at all. I mean, my greatest hope, really, would be a more modest one, which is that it would do nothing to impede the progress of the peace talks, which are obviously the most important thing. You'd like to believe that anything that, even in a tiny way, explains this chaotic situation in the North, particularly explains it from an Irish point of view as well, perhaps, that maybe that can help people to reassess their opinions.
All right, ironic that while the British government was negotiating with the IRA, the U.S. government denied a visa to Jerry Adams. He's the spokesman for Sinn Féin. That's the political arm of the IRA. Anyway, we'll have more with Daniel Day-Lewis in a couple of weeks when that movie comes out.